Welcome back. Well, the New York Giants have not won a Super Bowl in a dozen years, but it remains one of the NFL's most valuable franchises. Earlier this year, Forbes ranked the Giants as the NFL's fourth highest valued franchise at $7.3 billion. They sit in a tight group behind the Dallas Cowboys, which is the most valuable sports team in the entire world. The Giants and the other 31 NFL teams have become so expensive that recently the league voted to allow private equity funds to invest in teams.
And these fund investments would allow for the world's richest sports league to make it even easier for NFL owners to sell minority stakes and help offset costs. It may change the complexion of the future of NFL ownership, in fact. Now, that's a far cry from how the Giants have long been run. They are one of a handful of teams that have been owned by the same family since their very inception. National sports correspondent Paul Crane recently spent some time with legendary Giants owner John Mara at the team's facility in New Jersey and is joining us now with more. Hello, Paul.
Hello. This is a unique situation in today's sports world. The Mara family has a lot to do with why the NFL is as valuable as it is today. The New York Giants are celebrating their 100th season in the National Football League. The team was founded in 1925 when businessman Tim Mara paid $500 to join the fledgling 5-year-old NFL. The Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers, and Chicago, now Arizona Cardinals, are the only other teams from back then which are still around, meaning the Mara family has literally seen it all. John Mara's entire life is centered around the New York Football Giants. His father, Wellington, was a ball boy for that 1925 team, making NFL ownership for the last century a family affair.
My earliest memories of my childhood are sharing a dorm room with my father at training camp during the summers. That's not the case with most of the other NFL owners. They have a myriad of businesses that they deal with. I'm here every day. This is what we do.
Like all families, the Maras have had some rough patches. And in 1991, some of the Maras chose to sell their 50% ownership stake in the team to another prominent New York family, the Tish family, the force behind the Lowe's Corporation. Jonathan Tish sits on the board alongside his siblings Laurie Tish and Steve Tish, the famed TV executive who is also the Giants' executive vice president and chairman. Despite this 30-plus year partnership, the name Mara has been synonymous with the New York Giants ever since John's grandfather made that modest investment.
I don't think he ever in his wildest dreams could have imagined when he laid out the $500 in 1925 that the popularity and the explosion of the National Football League and what it is today. I don't think he ever could have imagined that.
Worth now, most recent I saw, over $7 billion, but that's only if you sell it.
Those are numbers that really don't have a lot of meaning for us.
The Giants have won 8 championships, including 4 Super Bowls. But in the last decade, the team has only been to the postseason twice and won just 1 playoff game. Sports is very unpredictable, as you know all too well. How much harder does that become when the team is literally in your DNA?
I have so many family members that are so passionate about the team. So the losing is tough, but the challenge every year to try to improve and get better is what keeps us going.
Does it become tougher with family or fans?
Both. The fans have not been happy lately, and they let me hear about it, and that's part of the job. And there are a lot of times where the criticism is well-deserved, sometimes maybe not.
This season, the NFL is playing 5 regular season games in 3 different countries outside the U.S. How about the way the league has grown globally? Who knew? What do you think about the way it's grown in the United Kingdom, Germany, Mexico, and now Brazil?
It's amazing what has happened, and I never would have imagined that 15 years ago. But we've been to the UK 3 times, played in 3 sold-out stadiums, wildly enthusiastic crowds. We're going to Munich this November, and we expect the same thing. And every year you see sold-out stadiums and passionate fans over there. So I think that's a focus for the league going forward, is to increase our global appeal.
The sports betting is an interesting one. A lot of it was taking place anyway, just not legally. So now all of a sudden it becomes a great source of revenue for the league. But I would imagine there are concerns that will always be there and things that have to be monitored. What are some of the biggest concerns to you?
Well, a couple of things. One is, you know, we've already had a couple of instances where players have been suspended. We keep pushing legalized sports betting, and I just worry that we're going to have more instances in the future of players betting on games, and that's certainly something that would be a really tough issue for the league to deal with. I also worry about the effect that it's going to have on society. It worries me going forward. It really does.
So many more games. There's been talk of 18-game schedule. It feels inevitable.
I've always been less than enthusiastic about increasing the schedule, but I do think it's inevitable at this point.
It's a bottom-line business, but the business of the NFL, wow.
Well, the popularity of the league is at an all-time high, and I think that's because we have the best game, because we have competitive balance. I mean, we have a hard salary cap where you can go from last to first and vice versa very quickly. There are just so many factors that have gone into making the league such a great sports property right now. But I think competitive balance and the quality of the players that we have are really the things that stand out to me.
The New York Football Giants were instrumental in legitimizing a struggling league in 1925, then hung on through the Great Depression to help create what's now the greatest sports property in the world. The team is an underdog today in the NFC's Eastern Division and will need one of those quick turnarounds to make its 100th season a real celebration. Now, the Giants owner had a lot more to say from our interview, including how two of the league's most iconic coaches, Vince Lombardi and Tom Landry, were both once assistant coaches on the Giants and how the team tried to get each of them back. Mara has also been on the NFL's powerful competition committee for 15 years. He talked about the future of the game, from rules changes to technology. It's all part of our upcoming Football in America special, A Giant Family Legacy, on Saturday, September 28th, here on Scripps News.
Look forward to that.
I left a lot out.
But you can catch it in that special.
Yes,
Yeah.
you bet.
You did great reporting in New York, Paul, including
Yeah.
that. So looking forward to the special.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
2 weeks away. All right, thank you, Paul.